fellow Timeout lovers and sports lovers, and welcome to another episode of Timeout, a show anybody can watch about sports, stats, facts, and everything in between, from a fan point of view. I'm your host, Charlie, so let's go get this ball rolling. Timeout. It's sports time. How did I miss that? Oh man, did we have an awesome, insane games that happened yesterday on, Wednesday. So, time out. It's sports time. We begin the day with last night's awesome b-ball game as we head to Dallas Mavericks, who hosted those Clippers. Oh man, fellow timeout lovers, was this a battle all the way to the end. As we know, the Mavs having some bad blood with Cuban versus DeAndre Jordan, with basically in the offseason with DeAndre Jordan maybe being a Mav and not being a Mav. And honestly, Dirk and his boys showing off how they felt about being pretty much seesawed during the offseason, as the Mavs rushed to a woo-hoo victory lane as Cuban and his Mavs get the last laugh in Dallas with a final victory of 118-108. Wow! Way to go, Dallas. The superstars of the night on the Clippers side, you had Blake Griffin with 21 points, DeAndre Jordan with 11 rebounds, and Chris the assist Paul with 11 assists. On the Mavericks side, you had the man, the myth, the legend, Dirk Nowitzki, woohoo, with 31 points and 11 rebounds, and Barua with 7 assists. On to the next game. We head to Memphis, Tennessee, as we have the Grizzlies hosting those undefeated champs, the Golden State Warriors, as the Golden State Warriors went off to the races with a dominating score of 100-84, with the Warriors still staying undefeated at 9-0. Wow! Way to go, Golden State. The superstars of the night on the Grizzlies side, you had Paul Gasol with 26 points, as well as Green with 9 rebounds and Conley with 9 assists. On the Warriors side, woohoo! You had Steph Curry, you know him, cooking off in the court and in the paint with 28 points, 7 rebounds with 2 tied, and 5 assists. He was on fire! Man, talk about some awesome boom basketball that happened yesterday on Wednesday. Fantasy Rockstars and Notstars. Okay, fellow timeout lovers, turn down for what? Thursday. So it's turned down for what? Thursday. So it's fantasy Rockstars and Notstars. So here we go. Okay, for week 10 in the NFL, my fantasy Rockstar is Andy Dalton of the Cincinnati Bengals with an insane 21 points last week, as the man's being on fire with going against a rough and tough Texans D with J.J. Watt and Vince Wilfork, plus you can't forget about Cushing as well, but I would still play Andy Dalton. They're undefeated for a reason. My quarterback, not star, for this week 10 is Teddy Bridgewater, with the guy being knocked unconscious last week at Sunday's game against the Rams. He is questionable this week. If you have him, I would shelf him. My rockstar running back is Steelers' own D'Angelo Williams, with an insane 36 points last week. And with Le'Veon Bell unfortunately out for the season, definitely someone Big Ben has been throwing to. My fantasy not star for this week running back is Shane Verrier, with only 9 points last week, and even though he's going against his old team, the New England Patriots, he hasn't been targeted much at all this season. If you have him, I would bench him. My fantasy rockstar wide receiver is Green Bay Packers' Randall Cobb, with an insane 15 points last week, and with Randall being the glue pretty much to bring the whole Packers puzzle back together, where the bad man number 12, Timeout, fellow sports lovers, is actually really pissed. Losing 2 games in a row, that's something Aaron Rodgers just doesn't do. And I really feel like he's going to take it out on this team next week. So I personally think that if you have Randall Cobb, definitely play him, because Aaron Rodgers is definitely going to target him. Okay, my fantasy not star wide receiver is Doug Baldwin of the Seahawks, with him not even being targeted at all pretty much this entire season. If you have him, shelf him. My fantasy rockstar tight end is Greg Olsen, Greg Captain America Olsen, with the Panthers now 8-0, undefeated, timeout lovers, and Greg getting 12 points last week. Cam loves throwing to Greg Captain America Olsen. If you have Greg Olsen, I would absolutely recommend playing him this week. My fantasy not star tight end is Jared Cook of the St. Louis Rams, with him only being targeted for 1 point last week, fellow sports lovers, from Nick Foles. Nick Foles has forgot about him, so you probably should too. I would bench him. My fantasy rockstar defense for week 10 is the Carolina Panthers, as the Panthers definitely just are insane this season, especially with captain of the D, Luke McKeekley of the Panthers defense. That is nothing to mess with. My fantasy not star defense is Detroit Lions. Sorry folks, but them just being terrible this year, and in general, if you have the Lions defense, I would bench them. Alright, my fantasy rockstar kicker is Ravens' own Justin Tucker, with Tucker being on fire lately. If you have him, play him. My fantasy not star kicker is Nick Noviak of the Houston Texans. If you have him, shelf him. Well, there you go, fellow timeout lovers. Those are my fantasy rock stars and not stars for week 10 of the NFL. Timeout. It's pick'em time. Okay, fellow timeout lovers, it's Thursday, so you know what time it is. It's Thursday pick'em time. So here we go with week 10 of the NFL starting off tonight on Thursday Night Football. We have the Jets versus the Bills, and the timeout goes, and the pick goes to the Jets, Going with the Jets. With Rex Ryan just poking fun at the Jets left and right. That Jets defense has something to prove. And with Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm, with Brandon Marshall, they are gonna go off. I'm going Jets. Okay, here we go. We got the Jaguars versus the Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens. Lions versus the Packers. Going with the Packers. There is no way Aaron Rodgers is gonna lose to a sorry, sad Detroit Lions. Okay, we got the Finns versus the Eagles. I was on the Dolphins side last week, but I mean, after that sorry, sad loss to Buffalo Bills, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go with the Eagles on this one. Steelers versus the Browns. I'm going Steelers. My Bears versus the Rams. I'm liking how my Bears are doing right now. I'm definitely impressed. I'm gonna go with, especially with Jeremy Langford and Jay Cutler's actually not horrible. I'm gonna go with the Bears. Cowboys versus the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks. Panthers versus the Titans. There's a reason the Panthers are undefeated and the Titans are just not making anything happen this year at all. I'm going Panthers. Saints versus the Redskins. I'm gonna go with the Saints. Raiders versus the Chiefs, or Vikings versus the Chiefs, excuse me. I'm gonna go with the Vikings. Chiefs versus the Broncos. I'm going with the Broncos. Patriots versus the Giants. I'm going with those undefeated New England Patriots. And the Cardinals versus the Seahawks for Sunday Night Football. I'm going with Arizona Cardinals. And finally, for Monday Night Football, we've got the Texans versus the Bengals. I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. There's a reason they're undefeated. Andy Dalton's on fire. AJ Green's really making it happen. Even Giovanni Bernard is trying to get some catches in there too. Can't forget about Tyler Eifert as well. All right, well there you go, fellow timeout lovers. Those are my picks for week 10 of the NFL. What you watching? Oh man, fellow timeout lovers, do we have a showdown tonight on Turn Down for What? For what? Thursday at 8:25 on NFL Network. We have an all-out battle with the Jets, Jets, going head-on against his old coach and his new Buffalo Bill superstars. Or will the Jets make Rex and his boys tell him to, I'll let the door slam your butt on the way out? Or will the Bills run into a victory? Tune in to this all-out battle on NFL Network tonight. Talk about a game this sports lover is definitely not going to miss. Well, extra, read all about it, hot off the presses. Okay, fellow timeout lovers, with so many different problems going on in Dallas right now with the Cowboys, Greg Hardy is definitely not a solution. He is a problem. With the man beating now his ex-girlfriend last year and throwing her as well as her best friend on a bed of AR-15s, not to mention then deciding last week to go ahead and put these pics on social media, as well as causing waves with one of the best Cowboys players in the locker room, Mr. number 88, Dez Bryant, as well as threatening Tom Brady's wife, as well as his mother-in-law, which is timeout. That's just something you just don't do at all. With his crazy assumptions, Greg Hardy's crazy assumptions that he is never in the wrong, that man needs help. Mental help. And keeping him in a contact sport like football, fueling that rage, is only gonna make him sicker. Jerry Jones, get rid of the sickness and the plague that is Greg Hardy. Well, that's my show, fellow timeout lovers. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and, if you like what I'm talking about, go ahead and give me those thumbs up. Or, if you really feel what I'm talking about, then why haven't you subscribed yet? or you can always leave me a comment below the video here. And don't forget to hit me up on social media, on Facebook at Charles Cowan Timeout, as well as Twitter at Timeout Now 87. Until next time, Timeout. Let's talk about some sports. Have an awesome turn down for what? Thursday.